and you can look at their faces and see how upset they were. They were ticked off that they lost, and they were embarrassed, and one might say deservedly so. It's been a minute. I haven't done a video since the WNBA All-Star game. I have had the pleasure of enjoying my family's company, who traveled from out of state to visit me here, and so my time has been joyfully occupied. But I have been wanting to touch base again. Like I said, the last time I did a video was I did a live, actually. During the WNBA All-Star game, I did a video shortly before the game started, and then I went live for the game, and we had an absolute blast. So if you hung out with me for the All-Star game, thank you again. It was so much fun. We laughed, we cheered, we just had a great time hanging out, watching that game. And everyone on my live, at least what I could see, we were all Team WNBA. We were not rooting for Team USA in that particular situation. We wanted to see the WNBA All-Stars win this game. In fact, I predicted on a couple of occasions, and it's out there to be found, that the WNBA All-Stars would emerge victorious. So what are people talking about with that game? First and foremost, how can you not talk about Arike Ogunbowale? This girl had zero, let's say it again, 0 points when they took the halftime break. 0 points. She came out on fire in the second half, dropping 34 points, and other people let her go. I mean, she was, some people said, well, she was playing selfishly, but I think other people were saying, as we heard, that legendary coach, Cheryl Miller, I should say legendary player, who also coached and is an icon, and she coached the WNBA All-Stars. And apparently at halftime, she said, listen, relax, and basically go for yours. And so people got out of the way, and Arike was feeling it, and she dropped it. So that's one thing people are talking about. I'll get back to that in a moment. Obviously, Caitlin Clark didn't shoot the ball well, but she seems like every time she steps on the court, she's setting records. And so she had 10 assists, which is a rookie record in an All-Star game, and just one short of Sue Bird's record of assists in an All-Star game. So she did her thing. And then also people are talking about Angel Reese, who had 12 points, 11 rebounds, first time a rookie had a double-double in the game. And of course, the two of them, Caitlin and Angel, being on the court at the same time. Caitlin dishing the ball to Angel Reese for 2 of her 12 points. And so there was the game was exciting. I mean, and people were saying this. I mean, I'm hearing people, and I'm seeing people in the chats, and they're saying this is better than an NBA All-Star game. I'm seeing people online making comments. This is better than an NBA All-Star game. There was an excitement to it. And what I wanted to talk about was some of the more, let's say, how shall I say, satisfying moments, probably not just for me. Let's start with Arike again. Arike was in consideration for making the Olympic team. And she figured out, as to use her word, the vibe. She could sense the vibe. She knew they were not going to choose her. So she had withdrawn her name because she was like, basically, I'm not going to waste my time when I can feel the vibe. And she went off 34 points, the MVP, against Team USA, who will be competing in Paris for the gold. Now, we all expect Team USA to win. When's the last time they lost a game in the Olympics, right? So people are expecting that. But who would have expected that they would have allowed Arike Agumbawale, who apparently was sort of snubbed because she sensed that she was not, she was not going to make it. And she withdrew her name, but still she withdrew her name because she could see the handwriting was on the wall. And she did her thing. So I'm sure she's feeling really good about that. And that's a little bit like, okay, yeah, you want to underestimate me? Yeah. Y'all get out the way and give me the ball. And she took over. Now, I do believe that some of the other players probably could have scored more. Caitlin could have shot more in the second half. Other people probably could have scored more. But you know what? Everybody could see. First of all, Arike had the green light from Cheryl Miller, and she was on. And so they let her go to work. And she's so entertaining. And so, yeah, I'm sure there was some sense of satisfaction there. And perhaps for Coach Reeve, there was some sense of dissatisfaction because she didn't put her on the team or give her the vibe that she would put her on the team. And then, of course, when you talk about Caitlin and dropping those dimes, like I have said, what player who is a scorer doesn't want to play with the passer like Caitlin? So she obviously gets a joy out of passing the ball, and she passed the mess out of that ball. So it was so exciting. And again, there's Coach Reeve again, who appears to not really care for Caitlin. At least that's the quote vibe she sends out. She was complaining about the fever and Caitlin and the attention and all that. Kind of threw some shade here and there. And then it was kind of interesting because it was during a timeout when they were interviewing her, which I can't stand. Not a break, a timeout, or whatever it was. I can't stand when play is going on and then they're talking to the coaches and then you got to look at it half screen and all that nonsense. But, apparently, Coach Reeve had to pause and watch Caitlin giving an assist to Aaliyah Boston. And so there's another one like, yeah, take that. So that's pretty cool. And the big thing that I really wanted to show you tonight is Diana Taurasi, supposedly the GOAT, who is 42 years old, and you got to commend her for being able to compete as she does. But of course, there were people who said that she shouldn't be on the Olympic team, that she needs, her time is come and gone. She's a 5-time Olympian. Nobody can deny her basketball skill, her basketball history. But people are like, you know what? How about you step aside, because there are other people who are younger and they've got some game and they should be on there. Not to mention the whole marketing thing. We've been through all that where many feel that Caitlin Clark deserved to be on that team because of her skill, yes, but also can't say it enough, because of the attention and the marketability. And so leaving her off the team, many feel was a huge mistake. And so, man, I mean, Coach Reeve has lost to Caitlin in a regular season game and an All-Star game. Diana Taurasi, who was talking about, basically, Caitlin Clark's going to be going up against some grown women when she gets to the WNBA. So Caitlin Clark and the Fever have had to play Diana Taurasi's Phoenix Mercury twice during the season. They won both times. And then now Taurasi loses again to Caitlin Clark because they lost the All-Star game. But for those who think that it didn't matter, it didn't bother the Olympians, you better think again. You could tell that it was a different kind of game. I knew from listening to Cheryl Miller that her team intended to bring it. They were not going to bow down to these Olympians. They were not going to play second fiddle, and they were not going to hand over the game. She said that from the beginning. She said her team wanted to beat the brakes. Never heard that expression, but beat the brakes off of the Olympians. Obviously, the Olympians have something to prove. Number one, they're trying to get ready for the Olympics. They're supposedly the best players in the world. And so they know there's been a lot of hoopla about those who are not on the team. Some people think should be on the team, and how some of them maybe should not be on the team, etc. So you know that they had something to prove, and they lost. And it's like some people might say it was a close game when they look at the final score, and it was in some regards. But let me find the numbers here. It was also it wasn't as close at the end as it appeared to be. They were the WNBA All-Stars were pulling away. And so the final score ended up being 117, the team WNBA, and 109, the USA women's team. And so, like I said, it was close in times, but at the end, it wasn't as close as that. But, you know, when it was over, the quote unquote GOAT, Diana Taurasi, was not happy. And obviously, neither were the Olympians for an all-star game, which we were told they were not going to treat this just like a regular all-star game. They were going to treat this as, you know, as preparation and for the Olympics and to make a statement. And honestly, the statement that they received was, we got game and y'all need to step it up. And you can look at their faces and see how upset they were. They were ticked off that they lost and they were embarrassed. And one might say deservedly so. I mean, you're supposed to be the best in the world and you can't beat this team with rookies on the team, with people who are overlooked on the team, etc. You got your butt kicked. And Diana Taurasi, the GOAT, was ticked as well. And so at the end of the game, huddled up, she had a few words to say to her Team USA teammates. Let's check it out.
And that's part of the reason Diana Taurasi is on that team going for a 6th gold medal. She knows how to deliver the message, be the voice for this group, and lend her experience. It is now.
So there she is, telling them, you know, the sound was kind of low, but I'll just tell you what she was saying was this: SHIT, effing sucks. It's a good reminder we got to come to play no matter who we are. And, you know, and then she goes on like, you know, we all right, we got this or whatever. But again, it sucks. It effing sucks. This SHIT effing sucks. But it's a good reminder we got to come to play. No matter who we are. Maybe she should say no matter who they are, because they showed who they are. And so, you know, yeah, they wanted to win this game. I mean, she used strong language right there because they were humiliated, really, because they're supposed to be the best in the world. And they lost to people who were passed over from being Olympians. So, you know, they will use that as fuel as they go through their games leading up to hopefully the gold medal game. But kudos to Team WNBA for saying, you know what, yeah, this is what you got right here. Not so sure y'all really are the best players in the world, but we got game 2 and Enrique 34. And for everybody, you know, kudos to everybody for getting out of her way and letting her do her thing. You know, I guess, right? It's an all-star game and she showed us a little something, something. And Team WNBA as a whole showed the Olympians a little something, something as well. Anything short of a victory when you're Team USA, well, it's this humiliation, really, when you're playing people who were passed over. Coach Reeve, she better step it up. All right. Just wanted to check in with you guys. It's been a minute. Make sure if you have not subscribed to the channel that you do so. Also hit the like button. Appreciate it very much. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.